In the last story, you can remember that the little homie and his friends had come up with a new game. Whack-a-homie. They went up to the top of the hill. They took the baseball that they found, and they rolled it down the hill. And when the homies were trying to come up out of the holes or when they were standing around, you didn't want to get hit, because that means you lost. So anyway, but since the last story, something had happened. The little homie and his friends had gone over to where the baseball fields were. And they were going there looking for, of course, treats. But the homie was going to scout around and see if he could find himself another one of those white things. And he did. He found 2 of them in the grass. Now, they were kind of old and beat up because they'd been laying out there for quite a while. But the homie thought, well, nobody will care about these. I'm going to take these home. And he did. He rolled one, and it took all of his other friends to roll the other one. And they went through the streets the same way they did before and got these all the way back to the burrow. Anyway, now they had 3 balls to roll at one time. And this was going to be just a crazy day. So now 3 people get to roll the ball at one time. And all the other homies, they have to dodge 3 balls. Well, they were already having trouble dodging 1, let alone 3. So they pushed him all the way up the hill. And he took homie and 2 of his good friends were the first ones to get to go. And up they went to the top of the hill. And they got ready to roll. All the homies that were playing the game were down below, and they were all excited. They were jumping around and going, it's not going to get me, it's not going to get me. And some, even the homies' parents and other little guys that lived there, they didn't even know what was going on. They were just kind of coming out of their holes and doing their typical thing that they do every day, looking around and stuff. So the homie said, is everybody ready? And they all said, cheep, 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 which meant, yep, let's do this. A homie said, okay, guys, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go! And they rolled all 3 balls at one time. Well, they started rolling, and they were coming down the hill. The balls were bouncing into each other and going all over the place. They got down to the bottom where all the homies were at, and bang, knocked over one homie and hit another homie that was trying to come out of a hole. And another ball got stuck in a homie hole. And they were all laying on the ground and laughing and screaming about it, and they couldn't believe it. The homie was jumping up and down because his ball knocked one guy over, so that meant he'd get to go again. So he took off running down the hill because he knew he had to push the ball back up. 2 other guys, the one who had the stuck ball, they had to go down and get that one out, and the other guy got to go again too. Well, the guy with the stuck ball, he doesn't get to go again because he didn't hit no homies. Anyway, so another homie gets that turn. So they pushed all the balls back up the hill. They lined them all up. All the homies are down below. They're excited. They're waiting. They're watching. They're looking right up the hill. And the homie's trying to be as tricky a little guy as he can be. 1, 2, 3, don't go. He was just kept teasing them. And all the little homies down below were running in circles. They were so excited. You should have seen them. They would run in circles as fast as they could, and they were playing tag and kicking and bumping each other over. It was a crazy game. Finally, the homie yelled, okay, this time it's for real. 3, 2, 1. Tallahatchie. He's laughing, and the homie's laying on the ground. He's scratching his belly and thinking it's so funny. And the other homies down below are jumping up and down going, come on, roll the ball. We want to turn 2. We want to turn 2. Okay, so the homie stands up. He goes, all right, ready. 3, 2, 1. Don't go. back down the ground. He went laughing. It was so funny. Anyway, it was kind of starting to get a little annoying to all the other homies. So anyway, okay, he thinks I'll go ahead and do it this time. 3, 2, 1, go! Down the hill they come. 3 balls bouncing, rolling, hitting each other, everything else. Straight down for the homies. There is a homie sticking his head up out of a hole because he just woke up, and he's looking the other way. And it hits that homie right in the head and knocks him back down the hole. Everybody thought it was the best shot of the whole day. It was so funny. One other homie got knocked over, and homies didn't get nobodies this time. And the homie's like, oh, come on, man. I rolled that ball really, really good. So down he went, and then there were 3 new people up top. So they rolled the balls all the way back up, and they got ready to go again. The homie, he is pumped up. I am not going to get hit. I'm going to make sure that one of them balls doesn't hit anybody because I'm going to win, and I'm going back up top. 3, 2, 1. Here they come. They're rolling as fast as they could. Well, this was the first time the homie was down at the bottom of the hill when they were rolling the balls. And he could not believe how fast these balls were rolling. And he just kind of stood there staring at them. And he realized homies stare at balls when they're rolling. They hardly even move because they don't know what to do. Guess what? Bang! Hits a homie, flips him up in the air, and he grabs his bell and he laughed so hard when he landed on the ground because it was so funny that he got hit by the ball. And he thought, I couldn't even move. I just stood right there and I let that thing hit me. I didn't even think about it. Now the homie was having more fun getting the balls rolled at him than he was rolling them because now he didn't have to walk up the hill. So he started running around with the other homies, and they were going in holes, out of holes, in holes, out of holes, and they'd come in one spot and come out another, and they'd go, can't get us, can't get us. It was the craziest game you ever saw. Before long, some people had stopped by who knew where the homies were, and they had been watching the homies. And it was 3 little kids, 1 girl, 2 boys. And they were laughing so hard. They could not believe that these little animals had figured out to take these balls, push them up the hill, and roll them down. And they were just having the best day watching these homies play this game. Well, they pushed it back up the hill, sure enough, but other people started coming. And before long, there was probably 10 or 12 people watching, and the little homie looked around and he saw him and he thought, oh, this is just like that game we saw them big people playing. We have people watching. All we need is some popcorn. This is the best day. And the homie's running around in circles again. And now he's got a little bit of a crowd to show off for. So he's jumping up in the air doing flips. And he runs as fast as he can and dives right head first, right down a hole. His little tail just a flipping as he goes down in. He was really showing off. And it was time for the ball to come rolling. He jumped up, stood in one spot, and he thought, here it comes. Here it comes. I'm so excited. They rolled it. All 3 of them. Here they come. The homie's eyes are so big, he's just staring at it. It's just coming down the hill as fast as they can go. And the homie doesn't know what to do. Boom! Hits the homie again, knocks him clear over to the side, and the little homie is just laughing. And all the people are laughing, and the homie's shaking on the ground to make it look more dramatic because he's got an audience watching him. He was having so much fun doing this. They thought to themselves, man, we're going to be playing this game all summer long. And we're going to play this game even after school gets started this year, even though homies don't go to school. They kind of have to go to something like school. They didn't care. This was the best game they had figured out. They were going to go back over the baseball field and see if they could find more of these round things because they thought, man, if we can get a whole bunch of them rolling down the hill at once, it would be the best time ever. That was one great game for the homie. And this game is not over But this story is. Until next time, good night.